Welcome to Just Get Up with Isaac for daily motivation. I'm so excited to have you back here again on this magnificent Friday as we embark upon another exciting adventure of self-discovery. Today's episode is entitled Episode 5, Part 2 of How to Discover and Use Your True Gift of Value. I like to start off by saying this. And this is a quote from a guy named Robert Shaw. He said this: everything is created twice. First, in your imagination, and then into reality. When you think about that, that's incontrovertible. It's absolutely true. Everything that you can think of that's on this planet started with an idea. And then actions followed that idea. And then it became a reality, a tangible reality. So when we think about the importance of using our imaginations, it is absolutely necessary that we do this. Now, I'll take his quote a step further and I'll say this: everything is created 3 times. First, by God. Second, in our imaginations. And then third, in reality. Because everything starts with the Creator, does it not? But here's what I want to ask you. What ideas do you have? The ideas that you do you have a game plan for your ideas? Do you know how to bring your ideas into reality? And most importantly, are your ideas noble? Are your ideas selfish? Are your ideas for the benefit of others? Do you check to make sure that your ideas are in harmony with God's will? Here's the number one way to make sure that your ideas are properly inspired. Never seek money, never seek fame. Seek the benefit and the joy that comes from benefiting others and displaying your unique gift of value. So moving forward, may you remember those things and may you always be inspired. Notice this illustration. Let's say that someone say, look, if you take this 1,600-mile trip, you're going to get $100 billion. And let's say you got a week to take this trip. So put that in your head, wherever that destination may be. It's 1,600 miles away from where you currently are. They're guaranteeing you $100 billion. Now let's say all the obstacles that we have. Hey, I got to work. I got kids. I got family, health problems, whatever it is. But you're guaranteed to have that $100 billion. I like to think over 90% of us will find a way to take that 1,600-mile trip because it will change our lives forever because we know that we're going to get it. Now, here's the question to you. Why can't we make guarantees to ourselves? Did you know that when we procrastinate, research is showing from brain specialists that procrastination is attached to a lack of confidence in ourselves and also our ability to bring into fruition the thing that we're procrastinating with. So the only reason that we would jump and leave and take the 1,600 miles because it's guaranteed. It doesn't matter our circumstances. So take that example and compare it to your current circumstances. Why don't we have the same concept with things that we need to do, such as getting in shape, investing in our minds? We make excuses for ourselves. The real issue is it's not guaranteed. We can't see the guaranteed things that are going to come from it. And also our motive for doing it. And in addition to that, because it turns into our value, the worth of it, and it's not a priority. You see, we would jump and leave and take the 1,600 miles because we see the value in it and it becomes a priority. So why do we need to have the doctor tell us, look, if you don't start working out, you're going to die? But for the past 30 years, the person could have been investing in their health and taking preventative measures. It's the same concept. But you know what? It wasn't a priority. They didn't understand the full value. So now that they understand the full value, it becomes urgent. So what in life will make you have a sense of urgency? Who can you decide to become better for, even if you're not currently able to do it for yourself? What could really drive you to make you stop being a procrastinator? Because this is important to address, because if you don't fix procrastination, you will never dig up and discover your true gift of value. So you need to make this a priority. And here's a reason why you should make it a priority. There's a term called apoptosis, and it is pre-programmed cell death. It's the opposite of necrosis. Now, this can have a physiological or a psychological effect. And this is when we have premature deaths, or we die quicker because we're not getting better. So it's important to dream. This is why people die quicker than what they should after they retire. See, when we retire, we don't get better. Our bodies interpret that as, look, I'm ready to check out. So you must dream. Whatever goals that you have, it could be relationship goals. It could be to be a better husband, a better wife, a better son, a better servant of God, a better reader. Whatever it is, you must get better, because if not, it leads to a premature death, and we don't feel good about it. So as you're digging up your true gift of value, you must recognize that you must dream and you must get better. It is absolutely necessary, because like Robert Sharma once said, everything starts with our imagination. He also said that everything is created twice, first in our imagination and then in reality. And I'll take that a step further. Everything is created 3 times, first with God, then in our imaginations, and then into reality. So what ideas do you have? Ask yourself that again. What ideas do you have in your head that you haven't explored? It is a necessity that you put the work behind these ideas. And remember that you must be inspired. See, you also need to have a desire as well. But inspiration is more important than desire. Let me tell you why. Someone may have a desire to be in a relationship, but until they meet the right person that inspires them, they won't fully commit. Because guess what? It takes work. I got to spend time with you, do these things. So you need more than desire. Inspiration must come first, but you need the desire. You have to want to do it. So you can't just have a desire to get in shape. You need to have some type of inspiration. Look at yourself and say, hey, how does my health compare to 10 years ago? Can I make this better? And recognize that, look, I need to make this better so I can live longer and I can be healthier. Not just be healthier, so that I can be a more productive citizen. So be inspired, have a desire, put in the hard work, and then you will discover your true gift of value. But then we have to move on to how to use it. And that's a topic for another day. So start thinking about those ideas. What ideas do you have that you never nurtured? And you can bring these ideas into fruition. But you must understand, if you don't look for ways to get better, if you don't look for ways to improve, that you are prematurely sending yourself to an early grave. And I'm talking to the people that have goals and dreams. And remember, these goals can be anything that we desire, because success is something that we seek, that we continually and purposely seek, that's meaningful to us. But I will tell you this, may you never be guided by money, because it distorts your way of thinking. That's about you. Unless you're going to use this money to benefit others, start a nonprofit organization, or whatever it is, donate. But never do it solely for yourself. Now, there's nothing wrong with pursuing this because money is needed, but that shouldn't be your definition of success. Your definition of success is to work in harmony with God's will. In addition to doing this, you need to be inspired. You need to love what you're trying to pursue. Because That's what allows you to keep your head in the game when things get rough. So what do you love? Don't attach your gift to a career. Attach it to something that you love. Now let me tell you about this as well. Another thing about digging up your gifts, I want you to focus on writing ideas down and keep them within the same field. So for example, someone may love to sing or they may love music, but they must ask themselves, do I have a gift in this area? And also recognize that you can utilize your gift in thousands of ways. So for example, before I started writing, I limited myself to only writing poetry. I had no idea I had books in me. And then I didn't realize how I could manifest my gifts because I limited it to one category, which eventually led into speaking and inspiring people in that way. So don't put limits on your gift. Say, okay, all right, so I really love to write poetry, for me as an example, but is there another way, a more challenging way I can invest in my gift to inspire people through writing and nurture this talent and maybe explore other forms of writing? See, maybe you don't have to be the lead singer. Maybe your role is best served as the backup singer or the person that writes the music or the teacher, which could still lead to you making a lot of money and manifesting your gift. Because here's what you must understand. Your gift is what separates you. And when we try to mimic other people by seeking the fame, being the person that everyone could see, our motives are sullied. And remember, procrastination is attached to us not having good motives and a low self-esteem. So this is why one would take a trip around the world to receive $100 million that are guaranteed. Somebody say, hey, I'm going to give it to you. They're not going to procrastinate because they sense the urgency behind it. They sense the urgency and it's guaranteed. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't fully believe in something, so we procrastinate. If I truly could see the connection that if I don't work out, it's going to shorten my lifespan, then I would do it. And if it was truly important to me. But I can, even if it's not important to me, I can make it a priority. So you must eliminate procrastination if you're going to discover your true gift of value. So remember that. Ask yourself, if I'm procrastinating with my goals and dreams, why? And then say, well, I haven't been able to attach it to true value. And because of that, I can't make it a priority. See, if the attachment is only making money, then you can't enjoy the process. But you must say, okay, this is going to be valuable to me and to others. So now let me slowly implement this so that I can get better, so that I can maximize my unique potential, and so that I can avoid the dangerous side effects of apoptosis. So you must do that. So from this episode, I want you to really focus on eliminating procrastination out of your life. Recognize that your belief system is number one. If you don't believe in something, it doesn't matter how good the information is. You can only act on how you believe. So if you don't believe things are possible for you, if you don't believe that there's greatness within you, and you're going to procrastinate in doing it. But if you can say, if someone else got in their best shape, I can do it too. If they did, they're no better than you. And you must really believe and accept that. So you must accept where you are and take on the responsibility that you're going to change it. I once heard this. Someone said that when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. So don't put up arguments for your limits. Put up arguments for the impossibilities of life that are truly impossible. Put up an argument for how capable you are, because when you do this, you're truly recognizing that God is capable. There's greatness within you. You are a genius. You are made in God's image. If He's a genius, then you're a genius. You must recognize that. Just because a car has the capability of going or doing 450 horsepower doesn't mean that it will unless the driver pushes it to that level. And even then, you must maintain this horsepower with the proper fuel, with the proper maintenance. So just because you have potential doesn't mean you're going to utilize it. So you have potential, But what we haven't been doing, we haven't been utilizing it. So you must unleash the potential that you have. You must roar on life highway, or life highway, so to speak. So really meditate on those things. As Proverbs 29:18 says, and especially in the King James Version, without a vision, we perish. Or as some translations render it, without a vision, we become unrestrained or out of control. So this is an agreement with apoptosis, that we perish when we don't have visions and dreams and ways to get better. It's absolutely necessary that we seek ways to get better. So what would make you feel fulfilled? What would cause you to stop procrastinating? Think about those things. And remember, everything is created first in our imagination and then in reality. So put the right information in your mind so that you can be properly inspired, so that when you go to implement those things, you have the right motivation. So from this episode, recognize that you are unstoppable and no longer procrastinate. So write your ideas down. Say, what is it that I know that I'm capable of? And don't stick with one thing. Stay within the same field. For example, if you love music, stay with music. And look for something that you can implement that's never been done. And recognize this. If you're not implementing, it is not important enough to you. Accept that. Be very objective, because you can do this. So tune in for next week's episode of episode 6, part 3 of how to discover and use your true gift of value. We're going to have some very exciting information as we continue to dig up your gift and nurture this uniqueness that is inside of you. So have a great one. Thank you.